of and of what you bring to the table, and this must never be forgotten. The Honorable Opposition Leader loves to bring up his past when it comes to rugby or meeting the Queen. But heaven forbid, if someone mentions his failure, all of a sudden the past is bad. In his speech earlier, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition said something that really made an impression on me. He warned the Honorable PM that the Honorable AG is a political liability. He also stated, as usual, referring to ethnicity and race. This is not the sign of a true leader of the 21st century in Fiji, not a true leader for a country where 50% of the population is below the age of 27. This is a weak and pathetic attempt to cause division within Fiji First that will never work because we are strong as a team. Honorable Speaker, sir, we all know the problems he's already facing with the division within Sodelpa, and yet has the nerve to look to this side of the floor. What a joke. Since the leader of the opposition likes to quote the Bible, let me remind him that the devil is known as the great divider. This method is used by Satan. So before he quotes the Bible, I would like to urge him to look at Matthew chapter 7, verse 3, which says, "Why do you look at the speck of the sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?" MTA budget. Honorable Speaker, sir, I wish to acknowledge the allocation of $15.4 million made to the Ministry of Itoke Affairs, of which $14.7 million is for operating expenditure and $0.5 million for capital expenditure. Mr. Speaker, so we acknowledge that this allocation will help fulfill the objectives that the Ministry has planned. More importantly, in accordance to the principles of the public service reforms, this has motivated the Ministry to work smarter, by critically planning and proactively approaching partners to ensure that the Ministry remains aligned to the MTA 2018 to 2022 objectives set out in the Strategic Development Plan. Society is a family, so too, Mr. Speaker, sir, in the cultural setting it refers to the Toka, Matangali, Yabusta, Vivanua. For this reason, we have not deviated from our stakeholders, but more importantly, we are becoming more articulate and strategic in our approach, which is in accordance to our mandate in overseeing the welfare and the good governance of the Itoke. Honorable Speaker, sir, our strategic priorities are related to inspiring good governance within Itoke institutions and promoting political, economic, and social-cultural development. The objective of these activities is to reinforce community responsibilities and obligations, provide capacity building initiatives that will inspire changing mindsets and revive the principles of Solidarity, to name a few. Thus, Honorable Speaker, sir, I wish to acknowledge that the MTA allocation will allow us that freedom. Honorable Speaker, sir, there are 1,171 villages, 189 districts, and 14 provinces. The number of villages, number of houses, the needs and the issues faced, in addition to the environment and the landmass area of responsibility, differ greatly within the provinces. Honorable Speaker, sir, I wish to commend the budget for operational stipend for the provincial councils. Honorable Speaker, sir, previous allocations for the Itoke Affairs Board was focused on the remunerations for the staff and the allowances for the Turangani Koro and the Matinitikina. With the additional funds, the board is able to provide for communities. This assistance is timely and will greatly assist with the collation and validation of village profiles, which will greatly assist in the drawing up of viable village development plans for the community. Honorable Speaker, sir, this lays the foundation for the development of resilient Itoke communities. Honorable Speaker, sir, I wish to also comment on the increase of monthly allowance. Honorable Speaker, these individuals play a major role and are an extension of the government's arm within the communities. Honorable Speaker, sir, the role of Turangani Koro in the subsidy legislation of the Itoke Affairs Act of 1944 on the Tikina and Village Council Section 28 has expanded to the extent that they are assisting border control with reporting with regard to yachts that are docking in the maritime islands. We have also received interest from Fiji Road Authority for their appointment as road marshals, and I foresee that as we continue to develop, their roles will continue to evolve. Honorable Speaker, sir, perhaps at this juncture, it is fitting that I raise a concern on the need of non-government organizations and civil society organizations when implementing your programs within the communities to please liaise with the provincial office. The provincial council will liaise and make arrangements, including facilitate the traditional protocols to ensure that you have a maximum participation. Following Kambula digitization. Honourable Speaker, sir, it would please the Parliament to know that the objective of this digitization is to programs, Honourable Speaker, sir, we must continue to have respect of the communities and acknowledge that they have rights to within their space. Contribute cultural safeguards. Tambua Shop. Honourable Speaker, sir, I also wish to commend this budget on supporting initiatives to protect and safeguard the Tokay culture. Honourable Speaker, sir, I wish to acknowledge the 2019-2020 budget for $50,000 allocated for the Tambua Shop for the next financial year. Honourable Speaker, sir, with the assistance of the Minister for Agriculture, Rural and Maritime Development, Waterways and Environment, and the assistance of other agencies, the establishment of tracking system and necessary process in relation to a Tambua moratorium will be addressed. Walin Kambul, Honourable Speaker, sir, I wish to also commend my Fiji First Government for the consistent support for the Walani Kambula digitization. Honourable Speaker, sir, it would please this Parliament to note that the objective of this digitization is to maintain most up-to-date records and ensure that the equal distribution of land lease monies are carried out efficiently. It also ensures that the records are in sync with the birth, death, and marriage records. Leadership. Honourable Speaker, sir, if one were to thoroughly assess the allocation for the ministry, one will note that there are 2 allocations for traditional leadership, and I wish to draw the attention of this august body on the comments that were made at the onset. In an acknowledgement of the emerging issues of climate change, changing socio-economic circumstances, family values, financial literacy, and such, a curriculum was developed to assist traditional leaders to handle these issues and to evolve how they assume their role as traditional leaders. Honourable Speaker, sir, the other program overseen by the Tokay Land Commission is a proactive strategy focused on addressing conflicts prior to escalating to be heard by the Commission on this approach. Each position within the Tokay social structure of Mbete, Sauturanga, and Wanendau, to name a few, are reminded of their obligations and responsibilities towards the common good. The operative word, Honourable Speaker, sir, being the common good. The onus is on each of us in this august Parliament to ensure that common good supersedes all else.
Yes.
Honourable Speaker, sir, Woodrow Wilson said best, and I quote, "There is no higher religion than human service. To work for the common good is the greatest creed," unquote. Honourable Speaker, sir, I fully support the budget that is before this august Parliament. Vinakavale, may God bless us all.
Thank you.
I thank the Assistant Minister for Tokay Affairs for a statement, and I now give the floor to the Honourable